Hey, I'm Kyle, and this is my 1967 Pontiac Firebird, and it is rough, but we're slowly getting it put back together. So if you want to stick around and see what we're up to, I'd appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe too. Alright, so welcome to the video. I got a couple hours and I don't have a video for this week because I was just doing a lot of odds and ends stuff. So what I'm going to do is try and get the torque boxes welded in, the floor welded in, and that way I'll be able to throw the frame under it and kind of roll the car around. Yeah, so I'm going to get into it. Going to work on... The other thing I need to do is we've got the floor ahead a little bit, so I'm going to take out the little Tech screws, pull it back a 1/4 inch, get it tight up against the flange of the back frame rails, and then I'm going to put the Tech screw through the flange of the frame rails into the floor to hold it there. And then I've got a vice grip on the corner of this with an eyelet on it, and I'm going to try and tug it back. So that's what we're going to do now. That was a lot of talking, pretty much described probably the whole video and just right there. But that's what we'll get into, and yeah, I'll show you that. Let's get into her. Roll the intro. I don't have an intro. The floor really moved. Alright, so we got those tack screws out. We had the floor jacked up. We kind of leveled it out with the rockers in the floor and put tack screws in it. But we forgot to secure the back, so it pulled it away from the frame rails where we wanted it originally. So now I'm going to get it back to the frame rails, put a tack screw into it there. That way it's not moving off that frame rail, and then I can work on getting this front lined up. This is the other issue here. Over here, we couldn't get this pulled ahead far enough. It honestly almost looks like that. It honestly almost looks like this fold is wrong. So I might be able to just kind of hammer it around to get it so it can pull in a little bit tighter. Or even if I bend these up a little bit, if those might be hidden before. Anyways, let's get the frame rail get the floor pulled back to the frame rail. Here's the setup to get the door back to the frame rails. Got ratchet straps pulling it back, but that lifted it up. I've got a large man standing on the floor to push it down to the frame again. This is the setup. We got the floor where we wanted at the back. I think you just saw that. Got my dad in here to help me get it kind of pressed up against the frame rails. Put some screws in it to hold it. Now we're working on the front. The driver's side was an issue for us. My buddy Justin and I were trying to get it during the week, and it was just, we were kind of tired and a bit of a brain fog and stuff, so we just kind of, I said, you know what, I don't want to weld stuff in and then have to redo it later. So we just kind of left it. I talked to my dad. I was thinking about cutting out some of the spot welds and moving stuff around, and I talked to him, and he was just kind of like, you know what, if all the door gaps look good and the torque boxes are going to go in there all right, which is kind of what I was thinking, is they look like they should be good. Trying to get everything 100% like dialed in to get the exact same result at the end might not really be worth it. So he said, why don't you try and take clamp to that panel and pull it so it's straight on the floor. So I'll show you that now. It's right there. That's trying to get that lined up. We had this side lined up when Jess and I were here, no problem. It was just trying to get that one over there. That one's looking pretty good now. I'll kind of show you how I achieved that. So I got jacks here, just pushing the floor up to where it should be, or the toe boards where it should be. And then on this side here, I kind of blocked, I put a pry bar at the wheel so the jack wouldn't roll back, and I jacked it on the very edge of it so it kind of rolled it ahead a little bit. And I also have a, what you can see here, you can't see much, I got a clamp on this side. Yeah, so I got vice grip with an eyelet on the back of it, and a strap attached to that, and then ran it back to the frame rail and tightened it up just to give her a little tug. So seems to have worked pretty good. All right. I was just talking to the camera that wasn't on. So I got this side pretty much where I want it. I'm going to put a couple sheet metal screws in there to lock it in place. Then I'm going to put the jack under the transmission tunnel, jack it up just a touch, see if I can roll it back, and then I'm going to work on the other side. The other side's way better than it was. I'm pretty happy with it. If that's as good as I get it, I'm happy. But I also have one last little trick up my sleeve, is because there's already holes drilled in the top. If I drill a hole in the bottom that's slightly offset of the top holes, I can put a punch in there and just give her a little tug back to tighten them up a little bit. I'm gonna let that jack off a little bit because I want to bring that line back a touch. Right there. Beautiful. That's awesome. That's perfect. There. So that's going to hold that there. I'm going to work at tightening this up, and then we'll go over there. Honestly, I would almost be tempted to put a couple welds in there, but I'll hold off. Okay, so I'm going to drill a hole in the side here. I'll take a punch and see if I can roll this under a touch more, and then I'll either put a like a self-drilling like tech screw in it, or I'll put a weld on it. So I drill a hole. There's already the one hole for the plug weld. I can reach it. I can't see. Come on. There you go. I'm gonna put a weld. These are sitting tight, so I should have my helmet. It's over there. Gas is off. Okay, so that's what are you seeing? So I'll put a tack there. I'll bring you over here. Let's see if we can squish this down. That's right where it needs to be there. So if I put a sheet metal screw in. Can you see? Yeah, so I got the punch in there. Just pulling that a little tighter. It's got the floor up too high, but I'm gonna put a weld in there because the vice grip and stuff underneath is kind of holding the floor up as well. So I'll get all that stuff off, put some weight on it, and then clamp it to where it should be. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with where I got the floor. I'm going to start welding it in. This is a little high here, but I'll beat it into submission. I'll try too. And I got a couple of those little sheet metal screws there too, so if I need to, I can put a sheet metal screw in to pull spots tight. And I remember when I did the yellow Firebird, here was a little weird too, so I kind of had to stretch the metal to get it to sit flat. But yeah, it should be fine. Cool. That feels good. Alright, so I want to get the torque box. The torque box is welded in. Are you still on? You're still on. Yeah, so I want to get the torque box welded in, and then might stretch that a little. Yeah, get the torque box is welded in. Then I want to, I'll have to weld in the little plug welds along the floor and the rocker, like the pinch weld. So that's what we'll be doing. Maybe. I know I'm running out of time. My wife is expecting me back. Right, I was able to squeeze a couple more hours out in the shop here after hours. And so what I want to do is work on getting the torque boxes in, and then I can roll the frame under it or jack up on them and stuff. So that's kind of the plan. So what I need to do, I got a little bit of welding to finish up here. I want to grind these welds down right here, these little plug welds or rosette welds. I need to grind the welds down here so the torque box picks up to it. Then I'll drill some holes on these markings here. There's kind of some little guides on there. I'll clean up the back of here, hit it with some weld through primer, clamp it in place, and then I'll climb inside and do some little rosette welds from the inside. Is that all I have to say? I think so. I think this edge here is a little bit long, so I need to clean it up on with a grinder or a belt sander or something like that. So I'll also do that. So I also got a big hole in my pants, so sorry about that.
So I just ground out the welds where that torque box is going to go. I don't have a ton of time, so I'll clean this up later. Probably want to get the car jacked up a little bit higher because I got some little spot welds to clean up underneath too. Okay, so now I'm going to drill the holes through here. Get this down to bare metal so I know where to. Where's my other torque box? I'm sorry, you guys gotta listen to my rambling. Okay, so I'm going to clean that up, get it ready to clamp this on here. I'm going to also leave whatever welds go along here. I'll do that from the bottom after. I just want to get the kind of the main ones in, which are along here, here, here. I think there's another set that go across here and down the side here. And here. Okay, let's see what this does. That fits pretty good. But if you see here, it's binding right there. So I'm just going to grind a little bit of this off just so it fits a little bit better. Alright, I think you should be able to see that. Yeah, so that's clamped in. It looks pretty good to me. It might be over top of that. What is this? We'll mark it. Over top of the steering column support a little bit. I think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna drill some holes. I'll see what this is doing. I might cut that back a little bit, and we'll get tacking this in. Oh, I still got to tack up here too, so we'll do that as well. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Those weren't words the first time.
So this little reference line shows you where you're supposed to drill the holes to catch the torque box. You're supposed to drill above the line. So now I gotta fill those 2 holes. I looked from the inside, I could see the holes shining right through. Yes, that's pretty close. Right there. So what I'll do is I'll fill up all these plug welds here. I'll use this set of vice grips. I'll just clamp it in between 2, weld 2. These ones look tight, but I'll probably just keep clamping around until it's all tight and welded up. And then we'll go to the inside of the car and we will do the same thing, but on the toe board. Let's go to work. So I just turned that wire speed down a touch just to stop it from bubbling up like that. If it all went good, it was laying pretty flat. But I was gonna be lazy and just grind it off later. But honestly, I get up, change the setting. It's gonna save me a lot of time grinding down the road, so. Okay, I'll bring it to the inside of the car now. show you how cool this is. No, we can't. Okay, here. Alright, so I just, I might be exposing myself to you guys. I just finished welding that torque box in from the inside. I'll show you what it looks like on the outside. Got a ton of penetration. Yeah, it looks good. That's why I like doing it from the inside rather than punching holes through that thick steel of the torque box. Hopefully I'm in camera. I like to drill the holes through the sheet metal of the toe board, put the torque box in there, and then you can really put the heat to the thick steel of the torque box and kind of do a spiral with the welder to slowly get out to the sheet metal, and it works really good. So here's the torque box all welded in. You can see just lots of penetration. Like it's even starting to bubble out a little bit, which is telling you that there's just, it's 100% penetration, which is great, especially for a small like this. You want it to be sturdy. Also, you can see from the other side there, it gets good penetration down there. So now we're gonna do the other side. That's the and I think once we get this side done, that'll be it for the night, and I'll be pretty happy with that. It'd be nice to get the frame back under it, or even just be able to jack off of there, get a little lower to jack it higher so I can climb underneath and do the plug welds along the rocker. And yeah, then we'll be trying to do the A-pillar bottom pieces, and you know, lots of welding to do on this thing. But it's, I mean, really, I don't have much time in it. Like, it's nice having Justin coming and helping me out, but like he was saying last time, I think like maybe we have 12 hours in it, probably more like 10. So yeah, you just plug away at it a little bit. You got a project at home and you got a full-time job, like this is kind of similar to what you've been doing, just a few hours a week. You may even be able to get more hours on it than I can, and it starts to look like something. So yeah, hopefully this is encouraging for you guys to get moving on whatever you got kicking around, or if you don't have anything kicking around, you're just watching it because you like this stuff, then hopefully one day you'll have your own too. All right, let's knock out the other side. Oh God. Put it away there. Come on. Okay, so we're doing the exact same thing. This side's a little less complicated. Not as many kind of zigzags, and yeah, we don't have to work around the steering wheel or anything like that. All right, that already looks pretty good. This is exactly where it's got to go. Wonder how I could probably throw a level under to see if they're lining up pretty good. But that's right on those reference lines. That's the edge of the reference line. It's on it here. This 4x4 is in the way a little bit. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put one of those sheet metal screws in there. Or I can put the jack under there even. Is that where it's supposed to be? It's good on this side. That side needs a little bit of tucked in. I'm pretty confident that I can get it where it needs to be. This spot here, it's supposed to have a little gap here, which is weird to me, but it is. I can prove it to you. I'll take you outside and I'll show you another car. I'm just going to restart the camera, that way I can see the screen. We're outside now. I'll swing it around here. Another project we got kicking around. If you look right there, it's got the gap there too. This car I bought at the same time as the Firebird we're working on now. I got them from the same guy, and then I ended up selling that one because this one's a little bit more solid. But then I bought that one back, so we're working on it. This is also, this body here is mine, 68 Camaro. We got, my dad's got that 67 Beaumont over there. There's a 68 Charger, Monte Carlo, my dad's. This used to be my dad's parts car. He has a pretty solid, he had a solid other one that he sold to a buddy, and so the park car is still here. The buddy hasn't picked it up yet. 67 Chevelle, 35 Ford, 68 Charger. This is mine. That 66 Chevelle over there is mine. I was a little bit, I kind of walked this El Camino, and I think I could get off my dad pretty cheap, but it's, we'll see. This my dream car, my favorite car of all time is 67 Chevelle. So I'd love to get this off my dad, but we actually, it's in my name, we bought it kind of together, but it's his. So I'd love to get it from him, it's just so rough. But again, you can buy all the parts for everything, so I mean, I think Dad's got all the parts for everything. So he's got most of the stuff, so I'd be tempted to buy it off him and then have my dream car. But we'll get through the projects we got now. I got more than enough. I think a lot of you, if you guys follow the channel, will already have seen the other Firebird, but I'll show that one too, just so. There's the front end for the Firebird we're working on, and then this is another Firebird I picked up off Vern. I got it at the same time as when I bought back the convertible we're working on now. Here's one with the square body. I'm about to do some work on this summer too, so got no motor and needs a little bit of metal work, but it's a pretty solid truck, so it'd be cool to get that one going for this year. But yeah, here's a little tour of the backyard, quick tour, and we'll get back at this. Alright, I just want to interrupt the video quickly to thank Jimmy. He was whining last week that I didn't thank him, and I thanked Justin for helping me work on the cars. Jimmy has helped me drag home 4 Rod and F bodies and I couldn't do it without you, Jimmy. Thank you. He's always in the comments leaving sarcastic remarks, so if you see him down there, make sure you thank him too. The channel wouldn't be here without him. Alright, like I said, gonna do the same as last time. Just trace this out. So we'll just knock the coating off of here, hit it with some weld through primer, clamp it in place. I'm going to put a level underneath the other pad, as long as the car's still leveled. I was leveling off of these bolts on either side. So I'll make sure the car's still level or close, and then I'll put a level underneath the pads, and I can slide this one up or down a little bit if it just to get her good, and then clamp her in tight. Sorry about your level, Justin. Okay, this is crazy. That's dead level. So tells me that everything's going into where it should be going. Okay, same as last time. I'm welding in the outside first. Then I'll just swing around to the inside, weld it all up. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get you in close while I'm welding this up, but it's tight quarters without a camera, so hopefully I don't block the camera or whatever. Hopefully I can get it welded up decent with the camera in the way. It's also very dark and I can't see too much. Tight quarters. I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit. All right, that's gonna be it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Before you go, I got a couple questions for you. I noticed that you guys watch similar channels that I watch, so I want to know down in the comments kind of what your favorite YouTube channels are. And yeah, I see that you guys watch some similar ones as me. DD Speed Shop, as you can see, I've modeled my shop after his with the pink installation. Obviously Vice Grip Garage, Half-Ass Customs. I really like Carl at Japan's Customs. Make It Custom is the YouTube channel. Yeah, Carl's really does some really neat stuff because he like shows people how to make tools and stuff like that, as well as working on cars. So he actually just made a little Pullmax machine, which is something I've been thinking about making forever. Is that something you guys would be interested in seeing, is me building a little Pullmax machine as kind of a break in between the cars? Also maybe something like tool reviews, like the Everlast welders and stuff. I see that there's lots of Everlast welder content on YouTube. Is that something you'd be interested in? I've run hours and hours and hours on that welder, and it's made me a lot of money, so I might be a non-biased view or point of view compared to some of the other guys who are unboxing brand new shiny welders that they got as a promo. I paid for my welders, so I could do something like that. Just want to know what you guys would be interested in seeing. Obviously, the working on cars is going to be the main focus, but if I should kind of expand a little bit and do some more stuff too, let me know in the comments what you think. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you got this far, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and yeah, tell someone about it. If you got a buddy who's into this stuff, let them know about my channel. And yeah, that's what I got for you this week. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.